We are going to get started. I don't have everyone yet, but I will start with a little introduction, okay? My name is Samantha Binkley. I've been teaching healthy cooking classes here in my kitchen for the past 5 years. So I do in-person classes, and I have my own line of organic spice blends, which is what you all received in your harvest box this week, so which is why we're here. I love teaching my cooking classes, and when we got into the situation with the coronavirus, I decided to put it all online, make it all free, so people can have a way to cook at home and try different recipes. So this is what it's all about, sharing right now and about being together, but just in a different way. So I'm really excited to be here. I've been receiving the harvest boxes since February, so I'm relatively new. And thank you, Mia. This is just a great thing. It was referred to me by a friend. And so I started doing it, and it's been like Christmas every 2 weeks for me, opening my boxes, you know, and seeing what fun things I have to cook. So I've been loving that. And then Mia also takes care of my garden as well. So anyway, really excited to be doing this class. Few things I want to go over before we actually get started with cooking. You should have all received, of course, your ingredient list and then your little menu that tells us the preparation steps. And this is just for you. You don't have to refer to it during class, but if you want to, you can. You can just watch me and we'll go through the steps. My daughter Zoelle is manning the chat board. So if you have a question, there should be a, when you hit chat, you can, my cat's crying in the background. If you hit the chat button and you want to ask me a question, there's questions for Sam or Samantha.
Questions to Sam.
Or questions to Sam. So you could just do questions to Sam, and then you can ask a question and I'll read out your question, but you should all be on mute to get started. So that's the one thing. You could also raise your hand by using the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen, of your video screen, if you want to ask a question, and we will do our best to unmute you, or you unmute yourself and ask a question, okay? So the other thing I wanted to talk about was basically just the ingredients, and we're going to go through them. Oh, before I forget, I included my cooking class playlist, which all my spice blends are named after. So if you haven't, want to listen to it, it's a fun thing to listen to while you cook. Lighting is weird in my kitchen. I have a big skylight, so I'm like sort of off to the side and had to angle everything away from my island where I normally cook, cut, and chop. But just follow along as best as you can. The pot I'm using today for our recipe is this, like a stew pot, a low soup pot, anything that's has a nice, perhaps non-stick or not easy to burn, so a heavier kind of pot, okay? You can use anything, but that's a good one to use for today, okay? Lee was asking that earlier, so I think we got that covered, right? So let's start with our ingredients, okay? So this beautiful batch of mustard greens was delivered to me. So this is how I'm going to use them and show you how to use them in this white bean stew. That's a key ingredient, and the key ingredient is white beans. My white beans are in my Instant Pot, and I'll get them out soon. I didn't have white beans. I looked all over, and I thought my white beans were there, and it were actually chickpeas, which can be used as well. This is what's great about it. Anything can be used. But I have dried white beans, so I'm just cooking them. So they're almost done in my Instant Pot. So they cook in like really fast, 30 minutes. And they're almost done. Anyway, so that's coming up. So you need a cup of that. Again, any bean, any canned bean or cooked bean will do for this recipe. If you have kidney beans, if you have garbanzo beans, navy beans, any kind of bean. I wouldn't use black beans because it'll change the color and consistency, but pinto beans, anything like that would work really great in this, okay? The star is the Moroccan spice blend, Moroccan round the clock. So this you received in your box, okay? And we're gonna be using a tablespoon of that, so you're gonna use your entire packet along with a bay leaf, okay? So the other thing we have is our onions. I chop them ahead of time because they're a little bit, they make me tear up, and I'm sure they make you tear up too. And then a little bit of garlic, which I just pressed in my garlic press, and it's minced garlic, okay? We have celery, and we have a carrot, and we're gonna chop that together, both of those. A little bit of olive oil, and we have apple cider vinegar. So we have a teaspoon of that. This is very important. It helps to balance out the flavors at the end. Sweet, salty, all of that, okay? It helps to balance it out. So, and then we have chicken stock. If you have vegetable stock at home, any kind of stock will work really well for this recipe. And I talked about some optional things. Oh, before I forget, pasta. My pasta is a fresh pasta. It will take 3 or 4 minutes to cook, so I'm just gonna cook this while we put our stew in, so not to worry. But if you have regular dried pasta in your pantry, go ahead and use that because, well, start to cook it because it takes a little bit longer if you don't have it cooked already. And another added fun thing in this, if you're not a vegetarian, chicken apple sausage, or you can use vegan sausage or anything. This is actually a chicken sausage from Trader Joe's, but my favorite is the Adele's sausage. And because we're cooking from our pantry, it's what we have at home. You're not supposed to go out and shop really for this class. It's basically using everything you have, okay? So there's the light again coming down.
I'm going to try to
I have a little skylight.
Will you stand over here and I'll see if
I think,
maybe
I think I'm in the
that's
light.
worse?
Yeah, that's worse. So I have to go over
Scoot
here.
over
so
here
you
and
guys
let
can
me
see
move
better
this.
because the light is really harsh over there. Okay, so are you guys ready? Does everybody have their pot ready to go on the stove? Yeah? Okay, I see everyone shaking their head. Here we go. Okay, ready? So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to move my mustard greens off to the side, okay? And I'm going to move this. We're going to chop. When I say mise en place, I sent that note around. This is what it looks like when you're getting ready to do a recipe. Oh, here we go. This is what we do. It looks like when you're getting ready to do a recipe. And you should have everything out, everything ready. It makes it so much easier so you're not running around looking for stuff. When you're trying to cook, and then your hands are up in the air. You're like, I thought I had this. I thought I had that. It's nice to have it all done ahead of time. So, so let's get started. Okay, so if your onions are chopped already and your garlic is chopped already, woohoo, all done. But let's chop our carrots and put them aside because we're gonna have to have these done and nice and ready. So this is how I do it. I just split my carrot down the center and then flip it on this side, flat side down, and split in half. Okay, following? And then it makes it nice and easy to cut 4 pieces at one time. Okay, so these are my carrots. And I'll put those aside right here. My celery. So this is why this recipe is so great. So, you know, we're in this time when we could only go to the grocery store ever so often. We're trying to get everything all at once. It's a great way to clean out what's in your refrigerator. So this was my last carrot. These are my last ends of my celery, which works so great in stews. So it doesn't matter if they're bright green or not, but maybe if you guys are lucky, you got some of this in your harvest box this week and you have celery to use as well. So I just split them down the center on their backs. So I have this right here. And then I just hold them together as a bunch and chop down. And I like my pieces big and coarse in soups because when you cook them, they don't mush out as quickly. I like to still get a nice
switch. It's reflecting off of that light pretty bad.
Okay, no problem. I don't like it there. Okay, there we go. All right, a little better.
Just trying to
We're just
see this
adjusting.
big white thing.
Oh, come over here. Come. So you have to meet my daughter. She's my assistant during the classes, and she answers questions and refers questions to me. And this is Zoelle. And so
Hi, everyone.
So it's
Oh,
a family affair, and we do this all together. So when you see the questions for Sam, she will.
That's me. I'll be answering all your questions.
She'll be taking care of it.
You have to just let me know what you guys have any questions on, and usually I can just type out a response. We pretty much share a brain, so if you ask me the question, I'll usually be able to answer it pretty quickly before, you know, having to go back and forth and interrupting the meeting and all that.
Exactly. Thank you, Zoelle. Okay, great. So let me grab a little bowl so that I can put our carrots and get them out of the way. Carrots and celery. So now we have that all done, right? Is everybody where we are? We have carrots chopped and we have celery chopped, onions chopped, and we're doing this together. That's what I love. Okay, I see what's happening there. Jolene, are you okay? Okay, wonderful. Okay, great. So the next thing we're gonna work is with are these beautiful mustard greens. Okay, mine are just washed them. They are gorgeous. So this is a purple Japanese variety. These are very nutritious, highly nutritious. Great fiber in this, about 2 grams per serving. They have protein, very low in carbs, wonderful greens for you to use, and great immune booster for us during the time when we really, really, really need it. So these are gorgeous. So does everybody have their mustard greens handy? Yeah? You're gonna trim the ends. Yep, I see you. Trim the ends so some of the hard parts are off. Mine were pretty good, but I cut off about that much, okay? That will go in my compost. Then I just cut about 1-inch pieces. About that, 1-inch pieces. And then just chop all the way up. I have a lot. I have about 4 stalks. So I might have a little bit more than you guys do. But I'll just use as much as I can. If it's too much, I won't put all of it. It works out to be a lot. Look at mine. Woo! But there you go. And I like these pieces because they really, really hold their shape really well. So they'll be really good in there to give you a nice little something to bite down on. Okay? So let's see. Are you ready? I'm trying to stay out of the light. Are you guys all ready? So here we go. I'm turning on the stove underneath my pot. And we'll let it heat, and then I'll add the olive oil. So it's 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'll get this going. So hang on. How's everyone doing? Does everyone have their mustard greens done? Thumbs up. Yeah, Mona, I see you. Good. Let's see. I'm just looking to see who else is on. All right, wonderful. And there we go. All righty. Add in our olive oil. About 2 tablespoons. We're gonna add our onions and garlic first, okay? And then we'll add in the carrots, the celery, the Moroccan spice, and that's the flow. Then our mustard greens, our stock, our bay leaf, and then we add in our beans, okay? Ready? So a little bit of onions. It's okay, let that sit. It's my Instant Pot going on.
Should I release?
Not yet. Here we go. So my onions are in, they're at a light sizzle. Okay, you can kind of hear it going on. And I will pick up my pot and show the camera a little bit further down the line. So just hang on for that. But for right now, the onions and the garlic is basic. We just want to cook them for 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to throw in the garlic with it. 2 to 3 minutes until the onions soften. Don't let them burn, so watch your heat. It's on medium high, okay? You want a nice sizzle. I am so thrilled to be teaching this class to Good Neighbor Garden. So I know some of the people who my products went to, of course, and of course who I might be getting vegetables from or sharing vegetables with. I think it's such a wonderful business and program. So thank you, Mia, wherever you are out there. I really appreciate it. All right, so onions and garlic are coming along nicely. Lee, I see you cooking away. Juliana and Safina, I see you cooking away. Destiny, perfect. And Kim. Hi, Mia, I see you.
She's frozen.
I think she's frozen too. You know, thankfully, I mean, who would have thought we'd be doing all of this stuff online like 2 months ago? It's unbelievable. But really great that we found a way to adapt. There we go. I'm seeing more people cooking now. So onions and garlic are sauteing. The smell, I just love the smell of garlic and onion. It's always the start of something wonderful. Okay. Let's talk about pasta while that happens. I have this fresh pasta from my local store. It's hard to see it. I'm just going to try to get around the light. But they are little tubes. You can use any pasta for this. The picture that I show in our recipe has little orchette pasta. So anything you want, anything you have in your pantry works out just fine, okay? All right, I think we're ready here now for the carrots and celery. So in with my celery, in with my carrots, and in with my Moroccan spice. This one, the little packet that you've gotten in your box. Okay, there it goes in the pot. So I'm gonna stir that. Now you'll really get the sense of the flavors that we're building. Put that there. I have a little bit of salt somewhere, I'm not sure. Can you pass that to me? This would be a good time now to add a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Okay, stir, stir, stir. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'll use this, it's easier. These are my favorite pot holders. If you can see, there it is. It's all coming together. Give it a little shake. There we go. So you can probably get the beans ready for me. Thank you.
Do you use the whole packet of this spice?
Yes, use your whole packet. It's a tablespoon measurement exactly. You're always free to use more, but you only have a tablespoon at your disposal if you don't have the full bottle at home. Yeah. Okay. So, how's everyone doing? We just need to let this cook for about 2 more minutes, and then we will add in our mustard greens and stock, okay? Meredith, you look like you're doing good. Yeah. All right, great. So very highly nutritious mustard greens. I love them. What was that? Somebody missed the mustard greens? What? No, we're good. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. All right, great. So nice and fresh, nutrient packed. I like to teach recipes that are healthy, of course. All my cooking classes are Build Healthy cooking classes. We cook with fresh vegetables. And usually during my class, we go out to my garden, we pick what's fresh, what's in season, and we come in and cook. So the recipes are always seasonal. That's why this whole harvest box is so wonderful. I get to play with a lot of things. Yeah, it's wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and add in our mustard greens. I want them to saute a little bit. Joelle is letting the pressure out of our instant pot, so never mind that. Sorry for the noise. Sorry for the noise. I just put it all in, okay? All of my mustard greens are in. And just let it cook. Try to stir if you can. It'll all break down really quickly and get soft. So I'm just letting it all touch the bottom so it cooks a little bit. Okay. Couple minutes of that, and then our stock and beans, okay? How's everyone doing? Looking good. Everyone's good? You want a thumbs up? Yeah. Okay, wonderful. If you have any questions so far, let me know. After this class, I will send you the video so you could rewatch and save for when you're making it again. But I think it's a relatively easy one, fun one to do.
The playlist has been getting lots of love.
Ah, you guys are liking my playlist. It's a work of art for me to curate these songs. They're all, most of them are food related. So it's fun to like find songs that talk about food or enjoying food or being hungry for food or hungry for love, whatever comes into play. So, okay, so I'm gonna give my greens another stir. I want them to soften up before I put in my stock. That way I have room. Careful not to burn your onions, okay, and garlic. So make sure your flame is not too high. I'm gonna show you what mine looks like right now. It looks like a gorgeous mix of healthiness. And the mustard green smell is just to die for. There's a lot of other really good mustard green recipes out there. So instead of, if you like black-eyed peas, you can use black-eyed peas in this recipe. If you like spanakopita, which is a Greek dish, a pastry dish, you can use spanakopita instead of spinach. You can use mustard greens. So that's what mine looks like now, all broken down, okay? Can you all see? Yeah. Great. So I'm gonna give a stir and we're gonna add in the stock. Ready? So here's my chicken stock. chicken stock. If you have vegetable stock, that's wonderful as well. There we go. What I tend to use better than bouillon, it's a jar that has a paste of chicken stock. It just adds more flavor and you can control the sodium so you don't use too much. So you don't have to make it salty. You can make it really balanced flavors a lot easier. So if you want information about better than bouillon, let me know. I'll send you a picture. Okay. I'm going to show you what mine looks like now. So this is going to be a really hearty stew. And you can always add more stock and make it a soup. But that's what I have.
We have a question. This is an interesting one. I actually don't know this. Is there a difference between stock and broth?
No. No, not at all. And you can make both at home. So bone broth is basically chicken bones and water and vegetables cooked.
Bone broth with
yeah.
chicken stock.
It's just a different way of marketing it. So whatever broth and stock are, just as long as they're a clear liquid form, bone broth and chicken stock or stock are pretty much the same thing. Okay. So there we go. Here are my beans. These are freshly cooked beans, but if you have your canned beans, now is the time to go ahead and put them in. You're going to add your bay leaf and stir. I'm lucky to have a bay leaf tree, so I get fresh bay leaves. I'm lucky. Okay, and I'll show you again what this looks like. Can you see? Yeah, looks beautiful. So you're gonna up your stove, up the heat on your stove just a bit, and you're gonna put the top on when it starts to boil. Okay? How's everyone doing? If not, ask a question, or if you need me to hang on while you catch up, let me know. Yeah? Okay. Destiny, how are you doing? And Meredith, you're good? Perfect. Alrighty. So we're waiting for it to come to a boil. We're going to cover it. We're going to let it cook. And then we are going to work on our pasta. If you haven't already, I'm going to talk a little bit about apple cider vinegar that we're going to use. And yes, if you have some extra things you want to add, you can add rotisserie chicken at the very end. You can add, like I have here, sausage at the very end. You can add any protein to this, really, that doesn't need much cooking at the very end. I can try. I see that. Mia's asking if there's any way for me to take you to the garden. And I can do that if I don't lose reception, if I don't lose internet connection.
Do you want me to try to go out there now?
Yeah, can you go out there and see while, so Zoelle has a screen as well.
Well, I'm just gonna try to log in on mine.
Okay, and she's gonna try to log in on her phone, and then I can go with her.
Yeah, so we'll leave this set up.
We'll leave this set up in the break while everything is cooking. And then we'll go do a quick tour of the garden. How's that? I love my garden. Okay. I don't know what I'd do without it. Now that we're stuck at home, it's just, and it's not raining today for the first time in, gosh, 4 or 5 days. So, okay, mine is starting to get a little bubbly around the edges. A little bubbly around the edges. So I'm gonna put the top on in a second. And actually, I'm gonna turn on the stove under my water for my pasta. Some of you might have already cooked your pasta. That's fine. Mine is fresh, so it's not going to take very long to cook. And it'll all cook while I go out to the garden. So we will go through the front door and out to the side, okay?
If you're ready.
I'm not quite ready. Give me 1 second.
No, you are.
We have to put the top on. I'm gonna do this at a break when everyone could sort of catch up to me, and I'm hoping everyone is catching up. Looking good. Okay, everybody looks good. Okay.
I'm good. Mona here. I'm great. Everything's great.
Okay, thank you. Okay, wonderful. I'm gonna go right into the garden. I'm gonna put the top on. Mine is starting to boil, so when it starts to bubble, you could just follow along because you guys are in your kitchen. Just turn it down to medium and then put the top on. I'm gonna turn my stove down a little bit so the water just boils. When I come back, I'm gonna drop in my pasta. Okay, should I take my?
No, don't.
No, okay, so I'm gonna leave this just where it is. So bear with me, you're gonna lose me for a second, but then I'm gonna pick back up in my garden, okay? All right, see you in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, here I am. Can you all see me? Okay, great. Okay, never mind the brightness, but we'll try to get to a part where, so I'm walking through and to just flip it a little bit. I don't know if I can. Okay, here we go, I can. Okay, so I'm walking out. This is the of my home, and we're bamboo. This entrance to my garden, and I would be remiss if I didn't show you my most amazing compost that Mia set up for me. And there's a lot going on in there. Oh, it's gross. Okay, here we go. So this is the garden. I have cauliflower that's coming up, and it's left over. These cauliflower were here from, I want to say, January, and they're just starting to close up into cauliflowers because we've had such weird weather. But I have a lot of fun things in here. We have fennels that are coming up, lettuce, beets in this bed, kale. I have some starts of beans that are gonna come up. I love these. These are really pretty. Nice little accent. Lots of lettuces. I want to show you what I ran into today, though. This really incredibly big kohlrabi. So I'll make a salad with that. We have these wine barrels with zucchini that are coming up for spring. This bed right here is really nice. It has sorrel leaves in here, which I love. Lots of carrots and beets. So I have tricolor beets, I have striped beets, I have golden beets all coming up in this bed, and some broccolis in the back that are still pushing out little heads of broccoli. I have borage, or borage, I think it's better called, and look at this pretty borage leaf. So that's a nice medicinal herb forage. In this bed, I have a little broccoli head coming up. So we'll have broccoli soon. And then over here, these are potatoes. So these are purple potatoes. And Mia, I'm thinking of pulling them up tomorrow and eating them for Easter, just FYI. And then we have some shards here, some nice big leaves of shard, which this stew can be made with shards as well. Also with kale, just substitute the greens. And over here, I have more kohlrabi. I thought they were something else, but I discovered they were actually purple kohlrabi like the ones you just saw. And they're coming up, they're quite small. I have a little catnip for my kitty who you might hear screaming inside, meowing. And then over here, this is an area where last year I planted corn, but we're doing tomatoes. So here we are. So that's the gist of my garden. It's 3 beds going all the way back. And I'll show you a pretty flower. Everybody loves these pretty flowers when we do our cooking class. These are tiger eye abutilons. And they're pretty for decorating cakes, but they're just really interesting to look at. And they just hang just like this from branch to branch. So that's kind of a fun thing that we do. I planted a new mulberry bush because I love mulberries, and artichokes are on the wall. So this will start having artichokes really soon. So this is a really prolific plant right here. All in the pots are my herbs. So this is lemon balm. I have a little basil over there. Let's see, we have lavender, lemongrass, and rosemary, and another pot with yellow zucchini coming up. And all around them are watermelon radishes because I just love watermelon radishes. So that's really fun. So that's pretty much my garden. It's loving the rain and sun. Thank goodness for that. And then I have a little strawberry patch. So it seems to be doing okay up there. So, but my kohlrabi over there I'm really happy with. So I'm gonna go back inside, but I just wanted to show you that the garden. Thank you, Mia, for suggesting. I wasn't sure my Zoom would work out here. That's lemon balm. I've been enjoying lemon balm tea that we get in our boxes. Okay, so that's that. Show you while everything, I have a mint patch and it goes all the way through down my driveway. So it's all mint. So hopefully you guys can get some mint from my garden. Hello, there's somebody in the back photobombing you, Danielle. This down here is my citrus garden. I grow a lot of other things too, but these are my lemons over here. We have blood oranges over there. I have a big orange tree in the back. This one here is tangelos, and I have lemons, limes, Bear's limes. And so we kind of walk by, and I have a lot of grapefruit. So that's my grapefruit tree. And since I'm down here, do you guys want to see the chickens? I have a little troop of chickens, and I've been keeping chickens for a long time now. So I'll just show them to you really quickly. There we go. So down, down, down. This is my chicken hutch. And these are my girls. So I have a Norwegian breed over there. I have a partridge hen over here. I will open up and just walk in and just show you. So here they are, these sweet little girls. And then these two like to be in a nest together. They love being together. And then I have that one. So they're laying right now. They're sisters and they're just inseparable. Hey, so that's a little tour of what I normally, when I have cooking classes at my home, we do that tour. We pick vegetables. We grab eggs from the chickens if we need to. And then we go back inside and cook. So that's why our garden is so important. We're walking back up to the house where we will check on our
mustard green stew with white beans. Okay, hang on. A little bit of a hike. That's my pond with my fish. His name is Hoover because he eats everything in sight. And then back to the kitchen. Don't mind the mess. And here we are. Still sitting here.
Sam, you need to unmute. Unmute.
Yeah? Okay, cool. My stew is looking really good. I'll show you what mine looks like. The mustard greens are super strong. Smells so good. So that's what it looks like. Right there. Perfect. So I'm gonna up my stove a little bit, okay? Your mustard greens might need a little bit longer to cook. That's okay, let them cook, but I'm gonna take you through what the motions are for cooking the pasta. My pasta water is very hot, so I'm gonna stick, cover it back. I'm gonna start to cook my pasta. So if you haven't cooked your pasta yet, you can do so now. Okay, so I'm gonna stick mine in. My water is bubbly. And I'm not using a whole lot of pasta. 2 cups cooked will be good. All righty? And then let's talk a little bit. I'm letting that cook. I already put a little salt, or maybe I didn't. I generally put a little salt in the water, and I have this great olive oil sprayer, but I just put a little bit of olive oil. It's a trigger spray. I just put a little bit of olive oil in there so it doesn't stick together, okay? Alrighty, so apple cider vinegar. Why do we use apple cider vinegar in this recipe? Apple cider vinegar is very tangy, tart, but oh so good for you people, okay? A shot of apple cider vinegar when you're not feeling well will straighten you out, I promise you. A shot of apple cider vinegar when you feel like you have a cold or digestive issues, a little heartburn. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's really good. Just give yourself a shot before bed or an hour before bed, and it's really good. In this recipe, apple cider vinegar helps to balance out the flavors, especially when we are braising, which is basically what we did with the mustard greens. So it'll help ease up some of that tartness and bitterness that usually accompanies mustard greens. So apple cider vinegar will balance the salt, the sweet, and the bitter. So just a teaspoon. So you have to follow that, just a teaspoon, no more. Too much will throw it off balance, but it's really good. So who takes a shot? Does anyone? Just raise your hand. Does anyone ever try taking a shot? Yeah, it's so good. It's I swear it's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it and it works. It just works. So just try it. Sometimes it's good for your digestive tract. Okay, my pasta is cooking. You keep cooking your mustard greens, okay? They need to be cooked until the stems are soft. So that's the ribs in between. You have to keep cooking until those are soft. Depending on how much you put into your pot, it will take a little longer, or a little less time? Lee, I see that. You can actually cut the stems out, especially if it's very hard at the bottom. I don't have another one to show you how I do that, but when I cut the stems out of things, and I don't always do it. I do that if I'm gonna have them raw in a salad, but I just hold my mustard greens like this and take a knife and just run along the stem on both sides, and then I chop it up. But I only really do that if I'm gonna eat it raw, because the stems are too hard to eat raw. But the leaves are perfect in a salad. They're a little bitter, but if you have sweeter greens, mix it with kale, mix it with spinach, and it's really tasty. Right? Got it, Lee? Okay, good. Wonderful. So, let's see. My pasta is coming. It's almost ready. I'm going to drain it and then add it to my recipe, and then I will be done. And then, but make sure you check your recipe because you're at home and you can actually let yours cook a lot longer. What I want you to do is, if you can email me a picture of your stew when it's all done, I would really love to see how it's done. And if you're on Instagram, I'm at Healthy on You, or at Sam Binkley, or I'm sorry, at Sam Spicy Life. And you could send me photos that way or post them to your Instagram. This will be for the younger folks, but the millennials on the call, if there are any, can post them. But I love to see what you create after the classes. So that's been a lot of fun for me, to see how your recipe comes out. This whole class is recorded. I said that before, so I'll send you a link. And you will be able to rewatch this or share it. Mia, you had a question. Zoe, did you see a question from Mia?
I don't.
We're looking for your question, Mia. Preserved lemon pieces, Mona, would be amazing in that. As a matter of fact, we are making preserved lemons today because I have this whole tray of lemons and I'm trying to find recipes to use with it. So preserved lemons would be great, chopped up, just throw them in. Oh, I'm just listening, watching your comments about my playlist, which I love my playlist.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Mona,
Follow the playlist. Follow my playlist on Spotify. I don't really share it so much, but so nobody knows they listen to it, but now we have links. So just, if you want to like my playlist and follow it, that'd be fun. You know, that way when I add a new song, it's updated, and I constantly update it with new songs. Okay, my pasta is ready. And I'm gonna toss it in after I drain it. Okay, so watch me. You might not be able to see this part, but I just drained it. No need to rinse, okay? No need to rinse. This is my pasta. And it is going right in to my stew. I'm gonna turn down my stove. Looks so good. It smells absolutely amazing. I have it on low. I'm gonna show you what it looks like. And then I'm going to open up for questions, okay? So let's see. I just don't want to dump the whole thing onto my computer right now, but I think I'm good. And if you want to use sausage already cooked, you could dump it in at this point, okay? Now is the big thing. I'm going to taste it and see, does it need salt? Does it need pepper? What does it need? Okay, let me grab a tasting spoon. So, Al, can you grab me a tasting spoon, please? A tasting spoon, and I'm going to taste it. You're going to want to remove your bay leaf before eating. You don't want to get that in your mouth. And then you're going to add your apple cider vinegar. So everyone, add your apple cider vinegar right now. And mine looks so amazing, and it tastes, I mean, it smells so amazing, and I'm going to taste it right now, so let's see. Oh, so good. Really good. So the apple cider vinegar just needs to cook a little bit. But it went right in there. And let that cook for a few minutes, and then we're all done. So let's see, how's everyone doing? I see some empty kitchens. Oh no, I see Safina and Juliana. I see Jolene. I see Mona and Laria, which is Sienna, Mia. Mia, who's your friend? And Kim and Destiny. It's okay, I don't need it. Okay, Caden. Oh, okay, Caden. Oh, awesome. Okay, great. And then Meredith. How are you doing, Meredith? All good? Okay, so your recipe should be almost done. If you need to wait to add your pasta until your greens and beans cook, that's perfectly fine. If you want to add in your protein, or if you're leaving it out, that's absolutely fine too. If you need to adjust for salt and pepper, you can add in some cayenne pepper, which I highly recommend to give it a little boost in spiciness, because I love a little spice in my food. So that's what I do, just add a little bit of spicy. I have a Jamaican jerk spice that I use too, and that is really good if you want to add a little spice to things. It's called, let me grab it. See where it is. It's right here. Of course, I'm all out. No woman, no spice. I don't know if you can see it. The light is really behind it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, oh, a little bit better. Anyway, no woman, no spice is one of my favorite spices, because I'm Jamaican, and jerk spicy stuff are things that we really, really, really love. Okay, so we're approaching the end of our class. It's been almost an hour. It's been a pleasure cooking with all of you. Please tell me if you have any questions. Right now is the time to ask me any questions regarding the class. And you could always email me questions after. You can take yourself off mute. Yes.
Where?
What was that? Can everyone hear me?
I think maybe Lee has a question.
Oh, Lee, do you have a question?
Yes. Where do you get the lavender liqueur or spritz that is in the recommended alcohol drink?
Oh, okay. So that is for a different cooking class, right?
Oh, was it? Oh, maybe. Oh, I might have mistaken, and I'm sorry.
It's actually I have another cooking class coming up. So you guys, I usually do weekly classes on Sundays at 3 o'clock online, just like this. We start the class by making a quarantini drink, a healthy, you could use alcohol or no alcohol, but we start off by making a really nice drink that's usually fruit-based or herb-based. Sometimes I do a turmeric ginger elixir, and I think what Lee's referring to is a blueberry lavender spritzer drink that we are going to be making for my cooking class, in my cooking class next week. So we start off with one of those spritzers or drinks, and then we go on to cook our recipe. So next week we're cooking shakshuka, which can be vegan or vegetarian or regular. You could use ground meat, Beyond Meat, or no meat. And it's tomato sauce and eggs. So that's going to be a fun one-pot meal. And we're going to do the blueberry lavender spritzer then. We do a ginger jasmine drink, I think the week after, with a roasted cauliflower soup. And then the week after that, we do polenta with roasted herbed vegetables. And I don't remember the drink for that offhand. But yeah, these cooking classes are going on for the next 3 weeks. So if you want to jump into a class, just go on my website, sambinkley.com, and sign up. You just have to RSVP. They are free. They do use the spices, so if you want to purchase some of the spices, you can do that online. Or my spices are sold in Jimbo's stores, all 5 of them, Seaside Market, Ocean Beach People's Co-op, and so on. So that's what that is. But thanks for asking, Lee. Hold on, let me show you. This is what we have. Wild Moon liqueurs. Oh, it's hard to see it because of the light. But
Bring it closer, maybe?
no. But oh, here we go. You can kind of see it. I could email it to you, or the other option is just to take a little bit of coconut palm sugar and lavender flowers. We've been getting lavender in our harvest boxes, and so oh yeah, I see that. We've been getting a little bit of lavender in our boxes, so that's good to just steep in some hot water with a little sugar to make a lavender syrup. So when we get closer, I always propose at least 3 different ways to get that lavender flavor in your drink. Ilaria is asking a question. Do you want to
Yes, we're here.
Hi,
We
your
just-
hand was up.
Yeah, we just wanted to say thank you. This is so fun for us. We're in Barcelona and we've been in quarantine for 30 days in this apartment together.
Oh my
And
God.
we can't get the subscription box for Good Neighbor Gardens here. We really wish we could, but we watched, we didn't cook, but we learned for the future.
Yeah.
So we will cook it
Okay,
when we have the
great.
chance to track down some mustard greens over here in Barcelona.
Remember, you could also do it with hard greens like kale, collards, escarole. Escarole is great, but we'll cook a little faster and stuff like that. So I'll send you the video and you could do substitutions. I hope you don't have to be in quarantine much longer. Unfortunately,
Thank
we
you.
have another maybe month to 6 weeks. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
know.
thank you for partnering with my
Okay.
mom on this. It's beautiful.
Oh, she's beautiful. Thank you so much, Sienna and Ilaria.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
so if
Thank
anyone,
you.
bye-bye. If anyone has any more questions, if not, I'm going to sign off. Let me just show you first what my finished product is looking like. Let's see if you could see. It is really a stew, you know? There we go. So there we are. I think you could see it. It's got the sausage, it's got the pasta, mustard greens, and beans. Yum. And carrots and celery, all of that. Okay, guys.
Sam, I sent you a picture on Insta.
Oh, that would be
I
great.
sent it on Instagram. If you get it, let me know.
Thank you. Please send me your pictures. I love to see
Great.
them.
Thank you so
Courtney,
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Meredith. Thank you, Juliana. Thank you, Destiny, Kim, Mia,
How do we get more men?
And- Mona, and Lee. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.